So we've got some washed wool here. What do we need to do now with this washed wool so that we can analyze it for fiber diameter?
Okay, well, first off, we've got the yield on this. So what we're going to do now, in order to run fiber diameter, you can't just stick this somewhere and it runs it for you. So you're going to have to make a smaller sample out of it. What this is called is a mini coring machine. It's very similar to the big one we have out there, but this one will give you a very small sample. These fibers in this little tray here are all called mini cores, and they're 1.8 millimeters in diameter, or lengthwise. And that's what we put on a glass slide to run fiber diameter on the laptop model. This little small sample represents an entire fleece, which may weigh, 8 to 12 pounds or whatever. We only need a very small amount to measure.
So we've gone through two core samples, full fleece core. That fleece core has been washed. And what's the size of the sample that we take out from the big fleece core? Yeah.
It's 220. We take two samples, a sample A and a B, a sample and a duplicate, and they're 25-gram samples each.
25-gram samples, and then it's washed, so we only have 12 grams.
Yeah,
left.
Approximately.
And then how much is this here?
Less than half a gram. I mean, it's a very small amount. So,
right. So we're testing a half a gram to get a fiber diameter, but it's coming out from an 8-pound fleece.
Yes. Okay, I've got these cores, and I'm gonna put them on a slide. What I do is just take some of these cores and put them in here. Turn that on. Take this slide, the top part, flip it over. Okay, this is a slide that we made, and it's probably anywhere from 5 to 10,000 fibers on that slide. What we'll do is measure it on this benchtop machine, which is exactly like the other machine that I showed you just a minute ago, except it measures these glass slides. It takes about 2 minutes, and it'll give you the same information for the benchtop as it did for the traveling model.
So the advantage is to coring the fleece, washing it, mini coring it, and then running it on the OFDA here, as opposed to the side sample where we put the full staple on there. What's the advantages to this compared to that?
Well, it's a little more accurate than that one is, if you can say that, but it's washed. It has the grease taken out of it already. That one does not. We have to calculate a grease correction factor, which was mentioned earlier. And the grease correction factor, you take a greasy sample, you run it, and then you wash it with this sonic digitizer or sonic washer, and it takes the grease out, and then you remeasure it. We usually do about 10%. In other words, we get 100 samples, we'll do 10 samples to get a grease correction factor. And the grease correction factor can vary from, I don't think I've got any less than 0.5, but it varies from 0.5 to 3 or 4%, so to speak, of them, in micron ranges.
So we take out the need to guess for what the grease is, and if you had some variability within a flock of greasiness to cleanness, that wouldn't be picked up in the OFDA 2000, whereas you would capture those differences with this technology. Plus, this is a representative of the entire fleece, whereas that is just representative of wherever you pulled that side sample from.
That's correct. In the side sample, usually they take it off of the mid side. This is over the entire fleece. You can take the same sample and run a staple of a particular fleece over there, and you can run a mini core of a sample of the same animal, and they probably won't vary less than 0.3 of a micron, something like that. They're very accurate to 0.5 micron. So either way, they're both very accurate instruments.